Shalom, 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 shalom. All right, shalom, shalom. All right, so I'm gonna start this off, giving all honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahakudash Wakah, Thwadiyah Ba'ashem Yahweh for the Holy Spirit, which gives me utterance and has always given me utterance to do these lessons in hopes that they can be deemed efforts to exhort, and admonish, you know what I'm saying, aka edify, and also edify the flock, the sheep, the true believers of Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, in all faith and sincerity. Double honors to the apostles that hopefully elect elder apostles slated to be saved at the Great Millstone Church, Lord willing. And on down the rest of you brothers, you know what I'm saying, of that same doctrine, you know, the rest of you of that same doctrine. And double honors and tzlaki and peace and blessings to you brothers that are teaching this truth, you know, in all faith and sincerity and, you know, truth. Peace and blessings to you brothers and sisters out there that believe, all right? The believers of the Israelite race, you men, women, and children out there. Shalom to the elected 1/3. So yeah, jumping into this, man. This is gonna be this is a Up and Adam 108, volume 108, and pretty much you see the title: He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, and unto the married I command, in the subtitle, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. And that's pretty much what this is going to be dealing with, man. Like pretty much the order on things and how things supposed to be according to the Heavenly Father, man, which a lot of, you know, sisters are bucking up against, you know, a lot of men are not sticking to, you know, a lot of us men, it's a lot of emotional stuff going on. It's a lot of, you know, it's not strictly what it's supposed to be, man. You know, and with that, there's failure, man. And where that is at, there's gonna be failure. All right. So my point is not he that getteth a getteth a wife beginneth a possession, but more so, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. So this is gonna be some scriptures going into, you know, what the Lord commands for the married, you know, the order and how things go. So I'm gonna just jump into this. All right. So first off, let's go here. This is you know what? 1 Corinthians 7, and I'm gonna start at 10. We'll just bring this out. And unto the married I command, yet not I. You see, and unto the married, you know, and we know what marriage is. You know, marriage is, you know, pretty much when you join flesh, you know, in that intimate connection, you know, that's your, you know, that's your woman, you know what I'm saying? That's your husband. And that's it, man. It has nothing to do with the so-called white man's doctrine, you know, a piece of paper at a courthouse. You know, you got people caught up now, you know what I'm saying, living out what the Lord said they would be living out, which is like the days of Noah, people getting married and all this other stuff, basically caught up, you know, caught up in the worldly fashion of it all. Like that's the whole spirit that's going on right now. You know, a lot of people I know talking about they get married and they've been married. These people have been together for years. You know what I'm saying? Decades plus, going on 2 decades, and people talking about they getting married. Cause so that's how you know it's a sign with all this stuff happening. You know, in 2021, like the world clearly ended. You know what I'm saying? Um, that these are the people fulfilling, playing out the days of Noah, man. You know what I'm saying? They're not fulfilling or playing out, the will of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah on the right hand side as far as, you know, how things are to go as far as marriage. They actually just caught up in the world because that's what the days of Noah was. It was a bunch of people caught up in the world, and what they wanted to do, you know what I'm saying, and not what was right. When Noah was preparing, Noah was serious, Noah was austere, Noah was warning people, you know what I'm saying. Noah, no matter how he felt about it, man, telling people, but people continued on, in the worldly aspect of it all, which is the doctrine that Esau pushes. People going to courthouse, people taking trips, cruises, when you can't even get on the flight. You know what I'm saying? Some flights are starting to, shut down. You can't even get on without a man, right hook. But nonetheless, um, so this is opposite of the marriage according to the world's wisdom. All right, that's what this is dealing with. It says 1 Corinthians 7 and 10, and unto the married, right? And the family, just go ahead and bring that out. He said, what makes you married? One flesh. It says, Genesis 2:24, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and they shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. At that point, commitment, and ultimately, the sex. All right, so I just want to bring that out. Let me grab this real quick. So just prove that this is was actually showed with Isaac and this and Rebecca. All right. So like it, man. Let me see something. Basically, when they was in the tent. Yeah, Khan. This is Genesis. This is Genesis 24 and 67. We jump there. Genesis 24 and 67. And it reads what? It says, and Isaac brought her. I'm actually starting at 46. It says, oh, that's beautiful. I can actually start at 62. Yeah. I'm gonna start at 62. And Isaac came from the way of all of the well, Laharo, for he dwelt in the south country. I can actually start at 61. And Rebecca arose and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels and followed the man. See that? And the servant, she was being led to, her husband, But anyway, she was going to her husband. It says, and the servant took Rebecca and went his way, and Isaac came from the way of the well, Laharai, or however you want to pronounce it, Laharo, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, behold, the camels were coming. And Rebecca lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. You know what I'm saying? She seen, her husband, a king. But you're gonna see, basically, this is when they was, committing unto each other, and the courting, man. You see, he was meditating in the field on it, and then it manifested, in the sight. But anyway, and Rebecca lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. She hopped off the camel, for she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? You see, this man went out of his way. You know what I'm saying? He left his mother and father, as it said in Genesis 2, and he was cleaving unto who was going to be his wife. It says, and which we're going to get into, it says, and the servant had said, it is my master. See that? Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. See, the women back in the ancient time, they was real shamefaced. They understood, the essence of the man, the essence of, the woman's connection to the man, especially the chosen man, because the top man on the earth is the Israelite man in this truth. All right. And specifically ones teaching this truth. There's no high value man besides the Lord's men. That doesn't exist. Those high value men, are the men in this truth, man. The awakened Israelite men, teaching this truth. All right. Top men. But anyway, it says, for she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. She had reverence for him. That was showing reverence. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. And Isaac brought her. So they got together. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebecca. You see, just how Jake do. Jake bring you to the crib, mom's crib, whoever crib, and that, same thing, man. To this day, it says, and Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebecca, and she became his wife. You see what you think went on. So that's what happened. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebecca. You see, and she became his wife, and he loved her. They didn't go to the courthouse or nothing like that. It was the act of intimacy. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. And that's what a woman is to be. She's supposed to be a straight comfort, because men, we go through stuff, and these men, develop so much value because of what's put on our shoulder, man. The Israelite man specifically. So there's a lot of, pain we deal with, man, especially with having the knowledge on what's going on. So that makes things heavier. It makes things harder. So that's why think about it. When Adam was being created, he was left with the responsibility of pretty much living out and bringing the light, the Lord, the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the Heavenly Father. Naming this, naming that. He had the law. You see what I'm saying? And that's a lot, man, because he know how things supposed to be, and then things happen. So he made him help me, Eve, who was supposed to be a pillar of rest, his comfort, But Eve went off when she pretty much didn't focus on the understanding of, like, we play a big role, you know what I'm saying, of what the matter is. First and foremost, the responsibility she's been left up with, which will make her role that much more serious, because she's affecting, she's responsible for this man. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Lord came down on her so hard. She went off and got into what she desired. Esau's doctrine. That's what Esau's doctrine consists of. What you desire, what you think, leaving what the Lord said. And you knew what the Lord said, Then she poisoned her husband with that, poison, which was just information, which was just pretty much making him okay with a certain lifestyle, you know, with not being strictly about the doctrine of Yahweh Basham Al-Shah, bringing something else to the table, and him being subjected to deal with that. He actually going on to deal with that, which is completely off, you know. But Eve was prepared the whole time, and in essence, she's prepared to do what? To you know, like I said, be responsible for this man, which make her role that much more serious because she sees the seriousness of his role, you know, what he's dealing with, how much he has responsibility for, and that's a lot. If he dropped that, you know, man, throughout all of that, he must keep that responsibility. So that's why they are to be a comfort. Evil is to be a comfort. All right, but moving on to back to the point. This is all is making sense. So that's what marriage is. All right. So that's when you become one flesh. Isaac took her, took Rebecca into his mother's tent, Sarah's tent, and he knew her, man. You know, he took her, and she became his wife. Then, you know, the role played out of what it was supposed to be. You know, we'll go on. All right. So this is First Corinthians 7 and 10. And unto the married I command. You see, yet not I. Paul saying this. He said, yet not I, but the Lord. You know, let not the wife depart from her husband. Because we've seen it's recorded what happens when that happens. You know, the woman is not to do that by any means necessary, man. By any means, she is not to depart. You know, she's not allowed to depart, man. All right. The Lord said his will gonna stand and nothing else. All right. But yet, let's see something real quick. But yet, you got women. That's what's taking place right now. Like Sonya Curry, Lala, bunch of women the Lord hate, man. Yahweh Basham Al-Shah, he hates these women. You know, they think, you know, what they think is how things supposed to go. And they don't know nothing about the truth. So you women that know the truth, you are to be examples of this, man. You know, they are to learn from you, no matter what. That's why Kevin Samuel is so big right now, because all these women, there's a bunch of women that came on that left their husband, and now they washed. No good nigga, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as a good nigga, you know? But the one they did have was better than, which would still make sense, because that was who your actual husband was. The first one you was actually dealing with, man. You know? In the time of, if you will, what was considered marriage for you, not dating, not none of that madness, but actually, you know, marriage, you know, that leaving your husband, your mother, father, cleaving unto, and then you knowing this person, you know, intimately, and then the commitment after that, and that's it. It's done. You're one flesh, you know, mentally, physically, and spiritually, man. This is not a game, because it's a job to be done. And I'm talking to you so-called Black, Latinos, and Native American, Indian men, and women. You know, we have a big responsibility, and that's getting this doctrine out here and showing how things are actually supposed to go. We ought to be a light to the Gentiles. You know, you see what Bill Gates' woman did to his so-called woman. She did to him. These moms a bunch of simps, man. You know, and that's Esau. So even in us being subjected into the world of Esau, we have the world of Israel we're actually in. And we ain't to partake in none of what we think, but the actual doctrine we was always given, which goes back all the way to the garden. Because we're not doing it. That was the demise of us from that point. And that's why we're going through hell, pain, suffering, women bring forth children in sorrow, conceiving. It's just, you know, the pain's not supposed to be any of that, man. But it all happened when moms broke the left the doctrine, you know, which ultimately the men will have. That's why a woman is not to depart from her husband, especially at this point now. Let Eve be a lesson to you, man. She lost everything. She gave up immortality because she got in her feelings, which was that this world tell you to do, Esau tell you to do, because it's been Esau world since the garden, you know. But amongst that world, the Lord always had it chosen to be light. You see what I'm saying? Because Esau, obviously, he really was a serpent, you know. The righteousness has never been truly on earth for real, you know. But the doctrine and the attempt of it, and we are to keep. We're supposed to stick with it to death, man. Because the time is coming where it's going to be put in our inward parts. We're going to be able to perform it perfectly, and we're going to actually be put back to that state. And no serpent will ever, you know, cause a woman, you know, especially the chosen woman, to leave the doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, the order and instruction of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. You know, apples are made to be eaten, not put under your armpits. Apples are made to be eaten, not apples. I don't even want to say apples, but anyway, you're there's certain things, you know, you brush your teeth with your toothbrush. You know, you don't go buy the toothbrush, put some toothpaste on it and brush the, you know, things are supposed to be how they're supposed to be, you know, period. But when people start doing what they want, brushing the sidewalk with the toothbrush and toothpaste, that's how the madness get out here. But anyway, okay, when you go into that word depart, let her not depart from her husband, say to separate oneself from, put asunder, part, leave a husband or wife of divorce. You're not supposed to do that. To depart, go away, to place room in between, because you one flesh. You see, this is Matthew 19:6. Wherefore they are no more twined, but one flesh. What therefore God have joined together, let no man put asunder. You see, Yahweh Shah himself said this, man, and he on his way, man. You know, regardless of who stick with it, who, you know, or not, that man is on his way, man. He on his way back. You know, that's what's happening to so-called white man right now. You know, we have a lot. Is, you know, people got a lot of. You got a man to answer to, man. You know, you so-called Black, Latino, Native American women. You got a real man to answer to, man. You see, so you subject to the man and all. It's just that's what it is, man. You know, and he deal with you ultimately through your husband, and because that's how you good. That's how he takes care of his daughters. You know, but anyway, yeah, Khan. This is so you ain't supposed to be none of that leaving and all this other stuff, man. You know, us men, we aren't supposed to put away our women, regardless of anything, no matter how we may feel. You don't put them away. We don't put them away. You know, it say Matthew 19:9, and I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and marry and shall marry another, committed adultery. And whoso married her who is put away, do committed adultery. Because it say, what if a woman leave, she returned. She was going. I'm gonna go back to it. Matthew, Salaki, 1 Corinthians 7, and Salaki, 1 Corinthians 7, and 10, I'm gonna read through. It says, until married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. It says, but and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband. Period. And let not the husband put away his wife. Jumping back to 10. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband, but and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or it say what? Or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband be put away his wife. So there it is. Period. You know. So there it is. You know. Now why? So because ultimately this man is gonna keep you alive, man. You see? Period. He's gonna keep you alive. That's why she isn't to depart, because it's going to tell you that it say what? It say verse 14, it says for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, uh, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. See? Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. See that? So you are actually sanctified. You're made holy by holy, by by, you in this truth, you what really is the men, what I'm saying? You women are sanctified by your men, by your husband. That's why so many of these women out here messed up, because they don't have that, period. So they just leaving niggas, really, you know. So, that's basically that, man. And the men, we can't deal with them any way. You got to deal with them according to how the scriptures say to deal. But you ultimately, that goes into the other part, that he that beginneth the wife beginneth the possession. Because it say what? Verse 11. But let me see. 12. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Yeah, because Paul basically like have mercy, because she'll be saved, man. She playing a role, she'll be saved. So that's why he went on and said that you're sanctified by them, and period. You women ain't to lead men by any means. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to St. John 4 to show you the seriousness of that. I'm gonna actually go here. This is Sirach 36 and 24. He that beginneth a wife beginneth a possession. You see? He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. There it is. It says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. The hedge is with the men. The hedge is dealing with the angels. The angels is with the poor men. You see? The men that's of a broken heart and contrite spirit, man. Openly admitting that. You see? This is Psalms 34. And Salakia 6. The poor man cried, and the Lord heard. Yahweh heard, you see, and saved him out of all his troubles. That's who the Lord is dealing with. The angel of the Lord encampeth, you see, like a hedge around about them that fear him, and delivereth them. So that's the hedge. That's the outright hedge. All right. So going back. So I was just grabbing something real quick. Psalms 34 and 8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, is good. Blessed is the man that trusted in him. You see? Oh, fear. So there it is. That man's blessed. So the Lord got daughters too, because he says in Proverbs, the 8th chapter and the 4th verse, what? Let me grab that real quick. I'm going to come back here. Proverbs 8 and 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. So he's dealing with his sons. He's dealing with you can go to Revelation in the 21st chapter, and we could jump to jump to verse 3. And I heard a voice, great voice, come out of a voice out of heaven, saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men." You see, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. You see, period. And you women you Israelite women, you get to the Father through this man. You know, it's just the orders. It's like we got to get through the Father to through Yahweh Shai. You see, and God shall wipe away all his tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, nor neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Yet for these men that stick it out, that's with Yahweh Basham Shah, man, the awakened Israelite men that the Lord has called, and ultimately goes on to manifest as having been chosen, you know, just simply chosen, you know. So he's gonna be able to, you know, get everything. He has the way to get out of the troubles. He has the you know, the powers with him that ordains trouble, you know, that prevents trouble, that creates miracles. He has that with him, you know, and uh, the Israelite women, his daughters, received that by being with his men, the Israelite men that are the Lord's men, his sons. That's how they had procured that around them, you know, to where your life go right because you're with the man that has the hedge. So when you go back to Sirach 36 and 24, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. Where no hedge is, there the possession is full. You see? So that's why you don't want to depart from your husband, because you be in the possession of a woman, you're leaving the hedge. You see? And you'll be destroyed. That's why it's going to be so many women in Isaiah 4:1 taking hold of one man, saying what? Let me grab that real quick. Isaiah 4:1. I'm going to close out. It says, "In that day 7 women shall take hold of one man." See? Saying, "We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." Yeah. Meaning what? It's going to say property of such and such. And then he'll show you how to stay intact to get saved. That's why you are to treat that man like your Lord, because only the Lord can get you saved, man. You see? And the Lord gave that power to his men under him. That's why Sarah called her husband Lord, man. Abraham, she understood this, but you got women that think they equal this world, telling them they equal with men, which is off. And you damn sure not equal with an Israelite man teaching his truth, you know. But you can't. The ones that don't know, even though everybody ultimately will know, it's different. But you sisters that believe don't depart from your husband, man. And if you have, you better return to your husband, man. You know, that man has your best interest at heart. It's nothing. It's nothing else you can get. You know. Period. He's entrusted with the doctrine of Yahweh Basham Shah, and that man, he will apply it, man. He has to apply it, even if it's things you don't understand. That's why you inquire, you ask. Just like he has to do being the Lord's woman. Knowledge he needs to get, he don't understand, he asks the Lord, he begs the Lord. You know, humbly. If you got to fast, you got to afflict yourself to show the Lord he want to know. You trying to understand, that's how the approach you're supposed to take with these men. So you could be comforted and assured, you know, and that man will tell you. You know what I'm saying? If he's doing right, but you got to understand, they actually had an understanding, so they know how things are supposed to actually go. So if you're not feeling like you're receiving, you know, your due benevolence, it's probably because what you think you do, you're not actually, you know, you're not lining up with. You can get it, you know what I'm saying? And by him not, it's like you rewarding somebody the wrong time or something like that, you're not. That's not gonna help. That's you know. So actually, him, you know, being according, being in order, doing things decently in order. He's having your best interest. You know, he's supposed to. These men will tell you what you're supposed to hear when you need to hear. He's gonna treat you how you need to be treated when you need to, how you need to be treated. That's the only way you're gonna make it out, man. You see what happened to Lot's wife. See what happened to Eve, and so forth. All these women, Jezebel, she wanted to take over and rule. Lord made her fall out a window, and dogs ate her bones. Basically, he relived Adam and Eve all over again. And Ahab, he got cursed. You know, she's trying to say what the Lord, basically trying to say what the Lord said, and you know, ordain things to be how she wanted to be, and it ain't working in her favor, man. You know. Anyway, this is Sirach 36, and read this one more time. 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. So that you this man property. No one can tell that man what to do with his property. You know, Howard Shah said that. You know, he said when he was like when they basically was complaining to him about 1 penny, he was like, why? He's like, I ain't lie to you. Oh yeah, this is Matthew 20 and 13. That's how they was trying to make Yahweh Shah think. But he knew the doctrine, so he knew that was off. So he ain't budged to say what? Matthew 20 and 13. But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Does not thou agree with me for a penny? Take that is thine and go thy way. I will give unto this last even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do this? The point. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? You see? Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? Is thine eye evil because I am good? You see? That's how it's supposed to be. So that's why you go to Sirach 36 and 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. That's you owned by that man. That you his own. You know, and he do what he want. You know, according to what's right, man. All right. Period. 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 You know, you his property. No one's gonna tell him, you know, do with his shoes, or not saying you his shoes or anything like that, but it's just you really with his estate. Because if you that's a beautiful thing. You of an estate. You're an asset. You're valued. You're valued, man. You know, you're a possession. You know, you know, you're the top possession. As long as you're an Israelite woman, you know, and you're his wife. So you gotta understand these things, man. If you don't understand, that's why you gotta ask, inquire. But it says what? Where no hedge is, there the possession is full. You know? So you gotta lock in with that man to keep that hedge and stay locked in with that man. And he that had no wife will wander up and down mourning. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's why you wanna, you know, not neglect, you know, what the Lord has given us, man. You know what I'm saying? So as he said in 1 Corinthians, right, 7 to 10, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. You know, you got everything you gonna need. The protection, the funds, the food, the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? The wherewithal, the reassurance. You know, the creativity, the exact, etc. Man, the backbone to support everything. The ways of mercy. You know, because he's dealing with the Lord direct. So with that, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna give honor, praise, and glory to Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, or willingness been edifying. Amen. Don't follow this world, man. Things completely out of order. This is the way of an Israelite marriage, you know, which is the true marriage, the epitome of marriage. What marriage is, you know, and etc. in the order. All right. The woman is not over the man. She's under the man. You know, she's to be in subjection to her own husband in everything. You know, and that's actually you obeying the Lord. You see, and then especially if your man teaching you that, that's why he's your Lord, which is why Sarah was calling Abraham Lord. You see, because with obeying your man, you're obeying the Lord. And if your man is of the Lord, you are obeying the Lord. You see, he that heareth you heareth me. You see, Shalom.